are now at the entry of Lipova. We don't say that everything we are going to do in Romania is in Lipova, but let's say in this area. Unfortunately, for security reasons, we have to hide where we're going to rent our house and to act precisely, because we have to juggle between different towns here. We have to help some girls to disappear from one place to stay in another house where they can go to school without being found by the pimps, because we are mainly fighting prostitution. What we saw here is very, very dirty. We saw some horrible stuff. We saw ugly people using young girls. It's disgusting, it's horrible. We saw people begging. We cannot change the complete country, it's clear. What we saw as well is that most of the associations we found there,
they're not very clear.
Until now, we couldn't find one with whom we can collaborate.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So until now, we act on our own, and hopefully we will find sooner or later an association that we can trust to help. On our side, we come from England, we come from Spain, we come from Germany. We are a large team, and we want just to act and to help against injustice, chaos, destruction, using people for the sex, for the pleasure, for their dirty, disgusting pleasure.
And that's all. We're just an open team. We just want to help like this. We don't see a lot of people acting honestly around us, and we have decided to make a difference. That's all.
We're a team where we have a strict value of honor and responsibility. Quite a lot of people have been working with me. My name is E.G., and we have been acting also in Lampedusa, in Italy, in Sardinia, in Romania, now in Germany for the refugees of Africa. We have been working in Spain. We have been acting in different countries. And now we gather with people with a strict and clear honor and dignity. Unfortunately, we are not so many to react like this, but what can we say? What can we say just like that? To help and to react, it's becoming nearly impossible in this world. Nearly impossible. Everywhere we go to contact other associations to help, they just want us to pay, and we don't know why. We have to pay to have the right to help. We want to give our money and our actions to people who need, not to people who pretend that they organize something so that something is happening one day. We are already there to do.
Yes.
Mia, have you got something to say, or Hugo?
It's really like this. Unfortunately, that's the situation of the country, and we will do our best to change with our actions the life of the people we meet. And
yeah, I think it's the most honest way how we can help them. Just working as honest people to help.
You know, as we work with Spanish people, I just have one, not one word to say, but one letter. This letter is Toro.
Toro.
Yeah. The only way you act, you help, you're invisible, you disappear, you really act for goodness. That's all.
So we are looking for the girls who are selling their body on the street. Until now I see nothing.
Can you read me, Mia? Over.
Yes, over.
So Johnny is telling me there are two girls on your left-hand side with 3 men around. It could be silent. Can you go to follow your armor?
Yes, over.
done.
For your security. Over.
So another example from Romania, because when I go to a country, I like to unmask the country by different protocols that I know. So once I am in a country, we try with a fake identity, of course, to log into websites of sex, just to see how it is in the country and what's going to happen. And we tried through different protocols, and we're always facing the same thing. So Mia will present what it is.
So as soon as you try to create an account or to log in, you get this page. Instead of being able to create your account, it tells you you have been redirected. We regretfully cannot allow you to enter, in this case here, myfreecamps.com at this time, for the following reasons. We are not accepting any more members from your region or country at this time. That's the first reason. Or second possibility, you have been banned from this website, which of course is not the case.
Which is not possible because we don't use that, so it was just to see. And it means that every time that somebody is trying to create something in Romania, webcam, to show your boobs, your pussy and everything else, you are just refused because so many people do that. And I suppose there's a way to ask for money and to do that in a professional way, of course, which is another way to be of prostitution. It is so much used, and I suppose that in Europe, you realize you can go to England, to Germany, to France, to Spain, there are so many countries asking for that. They refuse you from Romania. They refuse you because you can just have a slight idea about the quantity of people who must have been using the system, so that the complete country is refused. Coming, 1 second.
Yeah.
It's full of mud. It's not up to scratch,
No, it's not like in other countries.
Yeah. It's a bit sportive.
To say the least.
So yes, we have been talking with Island for Kids.
Yes.
And this association is a complete scam. They have nothing. They don't have even one address. They pretend a lot of stuff, but in fact there's absolutely strictly nothing.
Nothing realistic.
Yes, they just try to make money, which is classical. People in a country like this, you meet a lot of people who are making money with the fact that there is no money. They can even say that.
Yes. And it's completely dishonest. I'm sorry.
It's absolutely dishonest because we were in contact with the Island for Kids from Germany. We have been talking a lot, and the guy was just lying, or he's a dreamer. We don't care.
Yeah.
We also contacted Caritas.
Yeah.
That is a Christian association, because we started to have big doubts about Island for Kids. So we contacted Caritas, which is more or less German here.
Yes.
But they were not at all interested.
No.
They don't care.
I mean, you can see the country is really poor, but they are not interested in the outside help of any kind. They are not enthusiastic when we present.
Well, in fact, it's also because they make money with what they do, most probably. So
we come to address the market or whatever.
Yeah, of course, or even to be embarrassing witnesses, because we could be there to see what's happening. We don't know, but
wait, the house of Caritas is here.
Okay,
on the left-hand side.
So we also contacted, what was this association? It was in which town? You know, with
I think in Bucharest, but
Bucharest.
they had bases in different towns, different houses.
we contacted them to see if we could help.
We never received any
We
answer.
never received any answer, so again, it's an association that is fighting against prostitution. But when you propose them to help them,
No answer.
no answer. So when we contact them, we said that we have money, that we have people. We have people with us from Germany, we have people with us from Spain, we have people with us from England. And suddenly, when we said that we're quite a lot of people, that we have money, that we have energy, we want to help, no answer, nothing. Which is weird. And it's not the first time. I mean, in the past we were in contact with Sea-Watch and we had the same problem. It was an association to fight, to protect the refugees, and it was a scam. And in so many places we saw that all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's like this.
And if we want to become an organization, an NGO, whatever, then we have to pay taxes. So I don't understand why we should pay the country that is allowing all the darkness that we want to fight.
So to be an NGO in Romania, we have to pay from the very beginning 200 euros. Do you know what to do with 200 euros here? You rent a house, a big house, for 1 month. And we're going to give that for the country that is allowing all of this? No, we don't need to appear, to have a declaration, to have an address. We have to act like spies here, to help people who need. We have only one possibility now, is to
Do something on our own.
Yeah, right. We have to start from zero. From zero, we have to rent a house with our own money. To start from zero, to make advertisement.
Yeah.
So we have decided, therefore, to rent a house, something that is big enough to host some people. It appeared to be very difficult in Romania because, strangely enough, they have no money, but they want to steal money to everyone, which is stupid because when we try to rent a house, then they want to sell it. So then,
They don't want to rent it. Even if they have nobody to buy it, they prefer to sell it.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
So you come and say, but I want to rent it. And every time that you go to somewhere to rent a house, they come and they say, no, just to sell. Just because you are not Romanian, so they think that you are going to buy a house. It's so low culture. And here, for instance, we had a house to rent. So it was a nice place.
Yeah, really perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect by the countryside. It was really perfect to protect people. And we went to visit this house. And
The people were very nice.
The people were very nice, very excited about who we are, and what we wanted to do. And so we went away for 3 days because they needed some time for the contract, which is normal. We had an appointment in the morning, on Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock to sign the contract, and we received an SMS at 9 o'clock in the morning to say, no, finally we want to sell the house, there's nothing to rent.
Yeah, without without saying before that perhaps they might rent it, they might sell it, nothing.
They never spoke about this, they just changed their minds like this, and the word we apologize doesn't exist, in Romania. So
never heard of this. I'm wondering if it's written in the dictionary.
Maybe there's no translation, that's why they cannot. It's like Klingon,
Yeah.
Thank you, and so on doesn't exist. So I mean, we had to find another house that finally we found. We will not show the place of this house for obvious security reasons, because we want to host some kids that are not always protected in this country. So we have to do something of security, which we are going to do. And this is why we cannot show their house that we're going to rent now, that we already signed the contract. So now it's clear, it's even a bigger house, a little bit hidden, so we can use that. And this house will be, this one will be left behind, of course, as they were dishonest and stupid, and that they wanted still money, and finally they will have no money, they will have nothing, no clients, and no one who will pay for anything. And this is why this country is having so many problems. This is why in this country you have so many girls, 14 years old. The only thing that they can do is prostitution, because they have no culture, because the population is not clever. And when we want to protect the kids, we have to fight with the parents who are fighting for their rights to be unable to look after their kids. It's really...
disgusting.
Well, it's a mess at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very complicated.
Anyway, now we have something in Romania, so we can start to act. We'll show you also the flyer we did to contact kids in an open way, easy way, and to try to fight very hard to change a little bit this horrible situation in this country, Romania, where we mustn't forget Dracula comes from. We're even close to this
We're even
castle.
Transylvania.
Transylvania, so maybe we're going to meet him. Okay. So we must have a way to attract people without talking about hoopers and so on. So we organized with a little name, HIT, which means help, intensity, and teaching. And we're proposing a lot of lessons. It's written in Romanian here.
Yeah. You see all the topics proposed.
Well, so maybe you can recognize some words. I don't know Romanian.
Well, Spaniola, Englica, Germana,
Yeah.
Italiana,
We have no doubt, yes, okay.
Flaut,
So-
Tai Chi Chuan.
So that are to teach and to attract a young population to meet us and to know us, so that we can offer food, accommodation, protection. Because it's not easy to be in contact directly with people. It's going to take a lot of time. We're going to invest a lot of time and a lot of energy here, because it's something very hard to build in a place that is so dark and so.
So, as you see, the TV, we have many different languages in the channel. Very often Romanian, but also German and French. I will show you.
Ți-a plăcut vreodată prin cap să te călugărești?
Să mă călugăresc? Vrei să-ți aduc aminte rolul meu din Toc Toc?
Many channels with music tips and stuff.
So we show you that to show that there is no scam. We are really in Romania, as we saw so many associations dishonest and everything else. We just understand that you could have a doubt, so we present clearly that we're in Romania.
Yeah, another, I think, Romanian. Sometimes it's also Bulgarian, but you know.
Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Or Bulgarian.
And just to show you that we are really where we say we are, because in this world you can never know. Okay, I will stop the TV now. I will show you the sleeping bags that we got, because many people here, especially in winter, have very bad living conditions in their houses. So they really need something to be warm. At the same time, we have to be careful, because there are a lot of people who are poor and others who are not poor, but they pretend they are, so that they can get some stuff and sell it again and so on. So it's really something where we have to take a lot of care and go to see the people, get to know them a bit, and make sure that they really need what we have to offer. And yeah, against the code, we have 10 of those big sleeping bags and 20 of those small ones.
Yeah.
Because these ones, of course, the big ones are much more expensive.
Yes, the big one goes until minus 18 degrees, right?
Yes, and this one, the small one, goes until 0, which is already a help for people who have at least a little bit better conditions.
So we're selecting people who have no heaters at all, then we give the big sleeping bags, and those who have a little system of protection, then we give the small sleeping bags.
So here I can show you the big one. It's really quite good.
They are quite expensive, so we be careful not to give that and to feed the market of drugs, the market of alcohol. So we make sure when we give a sleeping bag that it will be used against the cold and not against the health, if you see what I mean.
Then here everywhere on the bed, apart from the sleeping bags, you see many things that we collected from different countries, from Spain, from Germany at the present time. And here you see medicine. We bought lots of painkillers and also stuff against parasites, because with the hygienical conditions in Romania, with the toilets outside, for example, you can very quickly get infected with parasites. And for the people, the medicine is quite expensive, so we tried to collect as much as we could.
We already gave quite a lot, but it takes some time to make sure, again, to select the correct victims and not the people who are pretending to be poor and who are not at all. So it takes some time to know everybody and to make sure, absolutely sure, that you give to the right people. Yeah. We have to visit the houses, to meet the people, to make sure, as far as we can at least.
Then we bought many other clothes to fight against the cold, because this is like an urgent need. So we have many gloves in many different sizes for small kids, bigger kids, and so on and so on. Also many socks and tights and stuff like this in wool. And scarves, and lots of hats, like you can see here, coats. Then of course not to forget the fun and to give some pleasure to the kids. We also got games. We selected of course games that are free of language, because we took them from Germany. And well, yeah, some Lego, some other games. And here we have instruments. We bought a lot of flutes, like this one, to get in contact, because we can also teach and can give at the same time the flute as a present for contact with the kids and to bring them something positive. And yeah, we also have a harmonica, a guitar, as you can see, and really many different flutes in different sizes. Then we have of course general clothes, t-shirts, jeans, jumpers, everything that we collected. And
we are waiting for, we have a member, a part of our team that is in England, so we'll get a new deliverance of new stuff with different people from England coming. To be efficient here, we'll need to be about 6-7 people all the time, because we have to look after a lot of stuff, so we're going to create a shift process between Germany, between Spain and England, with new staff delivered each time, and people who can stay there 1 or 2 months, so that we concentrate on Romania for the time that is needed to really bring a difference. At the same time, as we have to act like spies, where we mustn't be discovered by the pimps and by some people who really want to steal money, we have to appear and disappear, to hide our place. So it's a complicated mission, really, because if they don't have money, it's because it's chaos in this country. It's just chaos, so it's not organized, or the only thing that is organized is prostitution. So it's quite complicated, and we have to help and not to be the victims of prostitution, of the pimps. So we have to appear and disappear, to really be spies, to be discreet but efficient, to help a maximum of kids. We're in contact with different associations, as we explained already before, that are not so clear. they make money because they sell the protocol that the country needs help, but themselves they don't do a lot. We're in contact with the Island for Kids, and we discover that there's nothing at the end of the day, that it's completely empty. We're in contact with an association that is protecting the girls, Association for the Capital. We contacted them to say we are many people, we have money, we want to help. No answer at all. We contacted Caritas and the same, because they want to sell an idea, but when you want to work with them, you are going to be in the middle, so you are going to be embarrassing witnesses. So very often there's nothing you can do because they are not even accepting your presence. So you have to really create everything from zero. So you have to select the associations, you have to select from the population the people who are really poor and those who are pretending to sell. This dishonesty is everywhere in the country. You have a lot of arrogance in the country, a lot of people saying we are the best of the best of the best, even if so many kids go to a prostitute. So it's not an easy place or an easy mission, honestly.
Yeah, especially to find out who are the real victims and who are the ones who are just pretending, and who are the ones who are making money with the victims, like all those or many associations do.
We have to film a little bit Hugo, if you can take the camera.
Yeah.
And I insist to film Hugo because Hugo, for the first time, is acting with us. Well, he was acting a little bit with us in Germany for the refugees, but now he's acting with us in a foreigner country, and he's discovering the protocol, and I think that he's quite surprised with everything he has been facing. So it would be interesting that he can testify a little bit and explain.
You're absolutely right. People would say that if you want to be good, just go and help. It's not that easy. It's not that easy at all, and I used to think like this, but I don't think like this anymore. Because I have been facing the fact that you try to give, you try to do, and it's very complicated until you find a person to whom you can really trust. Okay, I give you this coat, I give you this money or food or whatever, and that you know that this person will appreciate and that will not use it for the benefit of him or to use other people. It's very hard. And therefore I really want to testify that during all the time that we've been here and with the project that we will be developing, it's not easy to help. It's not easy to help, and you have to fight a lot.
Could you speak a little bit about the arrogance of this population here?
It's quite paradoxical, because you see they have the worst salaries. They are in Europe, so at the same time they have very, very bad salaries. Okay, accommodation and food is cheap, but then if they want to buy whatever electronic, it's the same price than in Europe.
Washing machine is the price that you have in Germany, with a salary of basically 200 euros a month.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you want to buy a washing machine, it's like paying a washing machine in Germany, I don't know, at least 5,000 euros.
And therefore you can see that they are really in a very bad situation. And yet when you want to help them, a lot of them say, no, you help me this way or you don't help me. But really like this, it's really like this, not a joke. Either the way I want or you don't help me, you don't approach me. And you're there like saying, but look at your situation, you're poor, you cannot heat your house, you have barely anything to feed your children. And yet they will say, no, either this way or the highway. And therefore, since we don't accept this, it's very difficult.
Yeah, because they believe to be the bosses, and it's like being very nice to us to accept that we give them some food, some money, some clothes. It's really an illness of the country. They believe to be a powerful country because their country told them that they are powerful, but they are not.
Exactly.
They are not, so they believe, and they, just with, what are you talking about? Look at your situation, look at your house. What are you talking? We are the best of the best of the best.
It's really like this. It's really like this. I've been testifying this with my own eyes and my own ears, my own intelligence, and it's exactly as it is describing. I cannot say anything against that. It's really like this.
And this is where we see that it's very hard to help a population that is pushed to be crazy because they miss money and they are not guilty because of this, but at the same time they believe to be the best. So when you go, you have some people, rare people, they are really happy to see us, but most of the others, they are not happy to see us because they believe either that their population is fantastic and that they are very rich, yes, which is not the case, and you have the other part where they pretend to be poor. Then they are smiling to you, but they pretend to be poor and they're not poor. They try to get something from you and to sell it, to buy drugs, to go to the hookers and so on, which is quite paradoxical for everything we try to do. And you've got some fake associations that are there to make money on the system. So when we come and we say, we give, but we are there, we want to meet the people and so on, and then they close the door at once.
They're not happy. They're not happy at all. They don't want any collaboration like this because they see we are just an open team of people, honest, just to help, and therefore we're bad news for them. I'm sorry, but it's like this.
So yes, to help a population, believe me, it's something very, very complicated, and when people are believing that you just have to help and everything is cool, you're dreaming. It's a system that is sold in the society as if the lies didn't exist. The point is that how do you want the population to bear this? They don't have to bear it because they believe that they are rich, even if they are poor, but the government are telling them, you are rich, therefore they believe to be rich. So when we come to help, they say, but we don't need, we are rich.
You face a paradox, but then you understand where this paradox is coming from, and in that you try to do your best, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
And for me it was interesting to have Hugo can testify because he's really discovering the lies and the craziness of the world.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is tough. It's tough to see what we can see here, but it's tough to see also the organized craziness of a country or another.
Ciao, mamma, papà, la revedere.